Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused? Like something didn't add up, but you couldn't explain why? Maybe someone made you apologize for something you didn't even do. Maybe they convinced you to say yes when you wanted to say no. Or maybe they left you questioning your memory, your judgment, even your sanity. That wasn't an accident. It was manipulation. The truth is, manipulators don't need physical force to control people. They use psychology. Subtle tactics that bypass logic and go straight into your emotions. And the scariest part? These tactics work, even on smart, confident people. In this video, you'll discover 7 of the darkest psychological tactics manipulators use every day, and more importantly, how to defend yourself against them. Welcome to Dark Mind Tactics, the place where we uncover the hidden psychology of power, influence, and control. If you want to sharpen your mind and never fall for manipulation again, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to learn could save you from being exploited. Now, let's begin with the first, and perhaps most dangerous, manipulation tactic: gaslighting. Gaslighting isn't just a buzzword. It's one of the most destructive forms of psychological warfare. The term comes from a 1944 movie called Gaslight, where a husband tries to drive his wife insane by dimming the lights in their home, then denying that the lights are changing. Over time, she begins to doubt her own mind. In real life, gaslighting works the same way. The manipulator denies reality, rewrites history, and plants seeds of doubt until you stop trusting yourself. Imagine confronting a partner about flirting with someone else. You clearly saw the messages on their phone, but instead of admitting it, they laugh and say, "You're paranoid. You're always imagining things." Or a coworker promises to send you a file. The next day, when you bring it up, they say, "I never said that. You must have misunderstood." Little by little, you begin to question yourself. Did I really see that? Maybe I remembered it wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting. This is the poison of gaslighting. It corrodes your confidence in your own judgment. Once a manipulator makes you doubt your perception of reality, they can control you completely. So, how do you fight back? Trust your memory. If you recall an event clearly, don't let someone's denial erase it. Document everything. In relationships, keep a private journal. At work, save emails and messages. Gaslighters thrive on ambiguity. Evidence kills ambiguity. Call it out calmly. If someone says, "I never said that," you can reply, "I wrote it down because it mattered." Keep it factual, not emotional. And most importantly, know when to walk away. Gaslighting is rarely a mistake. It's a pattern. And a pattern is a choice. Gaslighting is terrifying because it attacks the foundation of your mind. But once you recognize it, you reclaim control. Now, let's look at another weapon manipulators love to use: the guilt trap. The guilt trap is subtle but powerful. Instead of controlling you with force, manipulators chain you with obligation. Think about a friend who says, "After everything I've done for you, you can't even do this one thing for me." Or a partner who insists, "If you really loved me, you'd do it." These words are designed to make you feel selfish, ungrateful, or cold if you refuse. It's emotional blackmail. Here's the trick: guilt makes you easier to control because you'll do almost anything to stop feeling it. And manipulators know that. Imagine your coworker forgets their share of a group project, then says, "Well, you're better at it anyway. You don't mind covering for me, right?" If you hesitate, they might add, "Come on, you wouldn't want to let the whole team down." Now the pressure isn't just about helping, it's about your identity. They frame it as a moral test. If you say no, you're the bad person. So, how do you fight back? Pause and question the guilt. Ask yourself, would I agree if I didn't feel guilty? If the answer is no, then don't do it. Separate responsibility. Their choices are not your burden. You can care about someone without fixing their problems. Set boundaries early. Say, "I'd love to help when I can, but I can't always take on your responsibilities." When you refuse to bow to guilt, manipulators lose one of their easiest tools. Now let's turn to a tactic that doesn't attack your morality, but your sense of urgency. Scarcity. Scarcity is one of the most ancient manipulation tricks. It plays on fear of missing out. Advertisers use it constantly. Only 2 left in stock. Sale ends in 24 hours. Last chance to save big. But manipulators use it in relationships too. They'll say, If you don't decide now, I'll move on. Or, you won't get another opportunity like this. By manufacturing urgency, they bypass your logical thinking. You feel cornered, forced to make decisions without time to reflect. But here's the truth. Real opportunities don't vanish overnight. And real love doesn't demand instant decisions. Let's picture a boss who tells you, I need your answer on this new role immediately. If you hesitate, I'll give it to someone else. You panic, thinking you might lose a rare chance. But in reality, they're rushing you so you won't ask about the downsides. So, how do you fight back? Slow down. If someone pressures you to decide instantly, that's the red flag. Flip the script. Say, if this offer is real, it'll still be there tomorrow. Remember your worth. Urgency is often fake. Confidence lets you step back without fear. Scarcity works only when you let panic drive your choices. Calm breaks the spell. And speaking of panic, let's explore the silence that speaks louder than words, the silent treatment. The silent treatment might seem childish, but it's one of the cruelest manipulation tactics. When someone you care about suddenly cuts off communication, ignores your calls, or withdraws affection, it creates panic. Humans are wired to crave connection. Silence feels like punishment. Manipulators use this to make you chase them, to make you apologize, even when you did nothing wrong, to make you give in, just to restore peace. Picture this. After a small disagreement, your partner goes completely cold. No replies, no affection, no acknowledgement. Days pass. You find yourself saying, I'm sorry, just to break the tension. That's exactly what they wanted. Or imagine a boss who freezes you out of meetings because you disagreed. Suddenly, you're excluded and isolated until you cave. So, how do you fight back? Don't chase silence. The more you beg, the more power they gain. Hold your ground. Say, I'm ready to talk when you are, then step back. Recognize the cycle. If someone repeatedly uses silence as punishment, it's not immaturity, it's control. Silence is only powerful if you fear it. Once you stop chasing, they lose their weapon. But some manipulators don't punish with silence, they overwhelm with love. Let's talk about love bombing. Love bombing is intoxicating. It feels like you finally met someone who sees you, values you, adores you. Look for consistency, not intensity. Real love grows steady. Manipulation burns fast and fades. Don't confuse attention with care. Love bombers use intensity to disguise instability. Step back early. If someone comes on too strong, too fast, it's a red flag, not a fairy tale. Love bombing is sweet poison. Once you see it, you'll never taste it the same way again. But manipulators don't always use love directly. Sometimes, they drag others into the fight. This is called triangulation. Triangulation is when manipulators pull a third person into your conflict, making you feel ganged up on, compared, or judged. In relationships, it might sound like, even my friends think you're overreacting. At work, the manager agrees with me, not you. Now you're not just defending yourself, you're defending against invisible outsiders. This creates insecurity and jealousy. You feel small, like you're being evaluated from every angle. Here's an example. You argue with your sibling, and they suddenly say, Mom agrees with me. Now it's not a two-person discussion. It's you against a team. So, how do you fight back? Refuse to play. Say, this is between us, not anyone else. Expose the tactic. Calmly state, bringing others in doesn't solve this. Stay grounded. Remember, the third party usually isn't involved. It's just a manipulation tool. Triangulation thrives on insecurity. Confidence shuts it down. And finally, perhaps the sneakiest tactic of all, projection. Projection is when manipulators accuse you of the very sins they commit. A liar will call you dishonest. A cheater will accuse you of betrayal. A selfish person will insist you only think of yourself. Why? Because it confuses you. It forces you onto the defensive. While you scramble to prove you're not guilty, their own guilt stays hidden. Picture this. Your partner is distant and secretive. When you bring it up, they explode. You're the one hiding things. You're unfaithful. Suddenly, you're defending yourself instead of questioning them. That's projection at work. So, how do you fight back? Stay calm. Don't let false accusations pull you into chaos. Flip perspective. If someone accuses you suddenly, ask yourself, is this what they're actually doing? Don't over-defend. The more you explain, the more they win. Projection is a mirror meant to blind you. Once you see the reflection for what it is, the illusion breaks. Let's recap the 7 dark tactics manipulators use. Gaslighting makes you doubt reality. The guilt trap chains you with obligation. Scarcity pressures you into rushed decisions. Silent treatment makes you chase. Love bombing hooks you with extremes. Triangulation drags others into your battles. Projection turns their flaws into your burden. Awareness is your greatest weapon. The moment you see these tactics, they lose their power. If you found this video valuable, hit subscribe and join us at Dark Mind Tactics, where we expose the hidden psychology of power, strategy, and influence every week.